What is up? What is up? We are back, black, melanated, highly favored. Man. Look, let me tell you something. It went from a fucked up weather to, man, it's motherfucking 130 degrees outside. God damn. I was out there sweating like a motherfucker. I was sweating like a pedophile at a T-ball fucking game. God damn. I did a bitch outside. But anyway, man, shout out to everybody out there that's handling business. Shout out to everybody at the Core Plantation right now, man. If you work inside, man, much power and respect to you. If you don't work inside, god damn, man, it's been one. I know, I used to do that, man. That shit is not fun. Motherfucker be walking to you talking about, hey, how you doing, nigga? What the fuck you think how I'm doing, nigga? It's 130 degrees out here and I'm outside talking to you. Shit, nigga. So shout out to everybody that's gotta be out there, man. It's May, man. Get your shit tight. Get it right. I mean, it's hot than a motherfucker. You already know how I do in Las Vegas, man. They go from 70 degrees to 120 in no time. You know what I'm saying? They talk about you want to conserve power and shit. Man, nigga, fuck you. Conserve power? Why don't you make them casinos conserve power? It'd be nice and cold in them motherfuckers. God damn. So shout out to everybody out there, man, that is trying to do what they need to do to survive. To all my melanated folk that's at the Core Plantation, shut the fuck up, just do your job, man. If I was you, if I was you, nigga, I would go get an umbrella. That's what I would do if I was you, nigga. And shout out to all y'all niggas out there that's I'm talking about to all my honorary white supremacists. There's a lot of Asian motherfuckers out there too that want to be a part of that system and they acting like they ain't. Y'all don't hear no Asian? Where the motherfuckers? Hey, where's Andrew Yang at? Wasn't that the nigga that was trying to run for the presidency? Now he want to be the mayor of New York? Where is that nigga at? We gonna get on that nigga too. That nigga probably got a graphic calculator in his pocket right now. He got all the stats. You know, the motherfuckers smart at math and shit. I remember I told a bitch that shit. She got mad like a motherfucker and told me I was being racist. And everybody around was laughing at that bitch. Oh well. But But anyway, yeah, what happened to that nigga? Why he not speaking out on since that Asian brother shot that little kid? Then the person that was interviewing the little kid gonna say, so did it hurt? That kid was like, hell yeah, it hurt. Bitch, I got shot. Who asked somebody that? I bet you if it had been a white kid. Oh, we're not even gonna ask you how it felt. So traumatic. Let's get the ambulance back out here just to look at you again. You know that's what they'd have done to a white kid. But anyway, we finna get on this shit. We also finna get on this white principal that said nigga, and instead of them firing the bitch, they just transfer her somewhere else. Then you had a non-foundational black American Sambo and mammying it up, talking about she shouldn't get punished for one slip of the tongue. It's always these fucking non-FBA motherfuckers that don't belong here that always want to speak on behalf of anti-black racism. That shit get on my nerves, man. For real. I don't care what nobody say. That shit is annoying as fuck. So we finna get into it, man, for real. Y'all motherfuckers, man, better start researching, man. Get on your generational wealth. If you ain't investing in the stock, ain't trying to get your money game up, I don't know what the fuck you doing. I don't care how old you are. I don't want to hear that shit. Niggas spend a lot of money on shit that they shouldn't be spending their money on. And then when you look at the next nigga, he got a nice crib, nice car. He investing in stock, investing in himself. Now you mad. So be mad at your motherfucking self. Don't be mad at the next nigga. Stay in your lane. Read, research, and do what the fuck you need to do. I be doing it every day. I be either on YouTube looking up different tricks of the trade to invest in this stock. I'm still reading a price per pound of flesh because I'm doing a whole lot of other shit right now. But man, I'll tell you this right now, man, you niggas better get on your money game because these motherfucking white people is not finna stop and wait for you either. And if a nigga put you up on game, don't be up there turning your nose. You better take any type of information you can. Information is key. Information is power. That's why the Merovingian was the most powerful dude in the Matrix. That's facts. But hey, man, we about to get into this shit, man. And I forgot about Andrew Yang. Ain't that the motherfucker who trying to tell us what we need to do for reparations? I'm like, why is it always other people that ain't black that want to tell us what we should be doing reparations? That's sucker shit. For real. For real, for real, for real. I'm telling you right now, man. We finna get on his ass, man. Erica, man, what's happening? I see you. We about to get on his ass right now. Yeah, man. Let me turn this down. Yeah, man, let's get on this motherfucking Andrew Yang real quick. This was the same nigga that was talking about we could do the lift all ties type shit too. Trying to use his mathematician skills. You know, I just be looking at motherfuckers like, well, what makes you think you had a right to govern black folk? You don't have no credentials. And nigga, I remember an Asian motherfucker trying to tell me how life was hard for him because he was Asian. I was just looking at him like, nigga, stop. Y'all niggas did not get lynched. Y'all niggas did not get hung. Y'all niggas did not get tarred, feathered, castrated. How many women, and I'm talking about United States of America, Incorporated, how many women that was pregnant, they hung them up on a tree and cut their babies out of them? Go give me the statistics on that since y'all good at math. I don't give a fuck who get mad. Fuck them motherfuckers, man. I'm tired of these motherfuckers. Everybody want to try to speak on behalf of black folk, and then when a motherfucking Asian do some fucked up shit to black people, everybody want to act like the shit ain't happened. Now, this a grown-ass man shot a kid. And they let him out the first time, then all of a sudden they like, oh, okay, this is getting too much attention. Now we gotta do something about it. Well, y'all wasn't never planning on doing nothing because he's a part of that system. That's why the Asian community as a whole, they treat niggas the way they do. I don't never see Asians on the west side unless they driving through that motherfucker. I'll never see them supporting Andes. I've never really heard of them supporting a lot of black businesses at all. They don't give a fuck about no black business. So I just wanted to get on that shit real quick because the motherfuckers always talking about, oh, stop the Asian crime. And Joe Biden, a.k.a. Jim Crow Biden, 94 crime bill, and Kamala Harris, they going to visit Mexico. They going to dealing with the LGBTQ element, PXYZ, all these other motherfuckers. They kind of black, bro. They niggas acting like they don't know what the fuck is going on. But this is the same nigga that went on the Breakfast Club and told Charlamagne the God, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. Well, niggas voted for you, and what the fuck is going on? I was watching an Atlanta basketball game. First of all, that's another thing I got to get on too, man. The motherfucking NBA. The NBA is it's a bullshit league. Out of all these black players, that what they're doing is godlike on the court. From what I see, that's godlike. That's what I saw in the 80s. That's what I saw in the 90s. Now, why is it all of a sudden has become decadent to everybody else? And if a white motherfucker, if he could just score 20 points a game, they'll give him the MVP. And that's shameful. I know Larry Bird probably looking like, man, what the fuck is these niggas on? Jerry West, all of them, Kevin McHale. I'm talking about the real white motherfuckers. I'm talking about the real white boys that hoop. Bill Laimbeer, I bet you Bill Laimbeer probably looking at that nigga that got the MVP like, man, I'll beat his ass right now. That's a fact. Go Google Bill Laimbeer in the 80s. Google him in the 80s and the early 90s. I'm talking about the early 90s. Google that motherfucking Bill Laimbeer. That nigga, that white boy wasn't no joke. Google motherfucking Kurt Rambis and all the motherfuckers. Man, that niggas wasn't having that. I bet they probably looking at this nigga like, y'all gonna pick him? God damn. Shit. Y'all might as well just not even pick nobody. But this is what, look, because they trying to Europeanize the NBA so fucking bad. If they could, they would get all non-FBA basketball players and European players and not pay niggas shit. And they'll pay non-FBA players the bare minimum and pay all the European players all this money in the world. But if you can see, these European players can't hang. So I wanted to get on that real quick. Look at Luka Doncic. Oh, Luka, look at all this other look, just like the other motherfucker that played on Utah, then they traded him to Boston. Then he got a high-ho chip fucking leg. This nigga got not a bionic leg, but this nigga got bamboo as bones, and his bone broke 3 different places. Gordon Hayward, and he ain't been shit ever since. Same shit happened to Paul George, but Paul George is balling. See, there's something that goes along with having melanin in your skin. That's a fact. But I just watch how they try to hype up any type of motherfucker. And then, oh my God. Donovan Mitchell out of Utah. If you could, ask for a trade. I don't even know how you playing out there, man. I don't care what nobody say. Them motherfucking fans of Utah let you know how they feel. That's why they call motherfucking Russell Westbrook a motherfucking nigga. Because they let him know exactly. Then the motherfucking owner try to come out and say, that doesn't reflect, please. But when a nigga go do some bullshit, they look at everybody the same way. No, they don't. Then if that's the case, why is it when you walk on the elevator and you get on the elevator with a white person, they start clenching their purse and looking at you upside your head? So stop. I just wanted to get on that because I was like, nigga, they don't even get me to, man, I should just do a whole thing just on sports too and all the racism I see, especially in basketball. Need I remind you, there's only one black NBA owner. And the league was started by a white Jewish man out of New York. No diss to my white Jewish brothers and sisters, but goddamn, y'all got a pattern of just making a whole bunch of money off of niggas and giving niggas the table scraps like Dutch Schultz out of Hoodlum. So I got to get on that shit too. And I got to get on, you know, the Asian Americans who act like their story is so rough compared to everybody else's. Like, they just had such a hard time. Stop. Y'all did not have no little rough time. Y'all have as finished the goddamn railroads after we built them, and then motherfuckers still gave you reparations. And motherfucker want to get all pissed off when a nigga bring up one topic of reparations. Motherfucker be looking at you like, oh my God, how dare you do this? It's like, nigga, what? That's why I be, man, and let me tell you something. We gonna get on this how it results to corporate America. I'll be looking at corporate plantation. I would advise any black folk that's at the corporate plantation, don't be no Louis Anderson off of Coming to America 1. First, I started off, you know, mopping floors. Then they moved me to fries. But, you know, working the register, that's where the real money is. Stop. I'm going to just move up this place. A reality bender should always set in after a while when you're at these corporate plantations. Like, all right, maybe I can move up. But then after a while, you should start looking around and see how many people that are in management positions or the hierarchy need look like you. And I'm not talking about corporate wallpaper like Two Nations. I'm not talking about that shit where they just put black people's photos everywhere, and then they, you know, they put it on the internet like they so diversified. Diversified mean they can put any nigga in there. They can get you an East Indian. You need to start thinking franchise ownership. That's facts. Franchise ownership, that's real. You know what though, man? Before I get on this principle using a nigga, I'm gonna tell you this right now. A lot of niggas don't think that way because a lot of niggas ain't socialized to think that way. And I'm going to tell you why a lot of niggas ain't socialized that way. Damn, how come the message keep deleting? That must be YouTube, because I'm not deleting your shit. That's because a lot of niggas tell niggas to go to church and pray to Cesare Borgia. And then when you talk about, hey, man, what about be a business owner? And oh, man, go get a job, man. You know, go get a job. Not, hey, man, do that job and then try to do that on the side. And when you get popping, then leave that job and do what you got to do. You don't get that type of advice. Nah, man, ain't no money in that. Get the job. Because niggas so negative. We can watch all kinds of other racial groups be entrepreneurs, and we'll praise and worship them all day long. But then when a nigga talk about, I want to be an entrepreneur, you're negative. No, don't be negative. Give them, I would say, tidbits and give them cliff notes on the good and the bad. You know, because when you work for yourself, you got to work twice as hard. But the reward is twice as fulfilling. That's why, man, even if you don't have your, you know, your own business or whatever, dive into that stock, man, and see what that shit is about. I've been on it for a minute, and now I'm trying to get even more in depth in it because niggas trying to make some bread, man. Because I always say this about the white Jewish community that I respect. They're not going to ever let their kids be broke, fucked up out here. That's not going to happen. I've been around them. That's not going to happen. They're not going to let you work at no corn plantation for no 20 years, and all you got to say is you worked there 20 years. They going to find one of their Jewish friends that work at a law firm or something where you can go to school or do something. Nigga, and as far as white Jewish parents is concerned, white Jewish parents are not going to let you be out there struggling. And I don't give a fuck what you say. They're not going to watch you struggle. That's the difference between them and a lot of other racial groups, especially black folk. Black folk, you know, a lot of the times we want to take the motherfucking money in the grave. You know what I'm saying? Facts. They're also not going to let you spend $200 on a pair of sneakers when you don't have $5 in your bank account. Facts. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. This therapy to me. That's a fact. Let me tell you something, man. You go find me one white Jewish person that's living above their means, and I will shut the fuck up. But the majority of white Jewish people that I come across, they live well within their means. They don't give a fuck about general public and what they care. They don't care. They shop at the fucking Goodwill. They shop at the thrift store. They don't care about that shit. Motherfuckers be like, oh man, them Jews are cheap. Yeah, but them Jews got real money though. And when they need to really get some liquidated going, them niggas know how to get that liquidated funds going so they can help out their children. Because they not finna watch their children be out here. Let me tell you something. Not only do the white Jewish community send their kids to Jewish schools so they can learn who they are and what they are about, they're already prepping them for what they need to do. You're going to go work at a bank. You're going to go do this. You're going to just like the Rothschilds. Motherfuckers be talking, man, please. Don't get me started on that shit, man. No, this is what we do. We tell our kids, you could be the president. Man, stop. No, nigga, what you can be is a plumber. What you can be is an electrician. What you can be is you can get a trade so you can always work for yourself. So you don't have to be going and clocking in at no 9-to-5 job where these motherfuckers got you stressed out. Where you trust me, I've seen it all, man. And you get to that point as a foundational black American where you're like, man, my people built this country. Y'all niggas ain't about to stress me out. Fuck what y'all niggas got going through. Y'all niggas getting the bare minimum out of me. And what's so cold is the dominant white society, they so smart, they get all these other racial groups to be over black people. They smart. So they so far up the top, you can't even get to them because they got the Latinos, they got the Asians, they got the Africans over you. They got every other racial group over you, so you can't even get to them. And then and the reason why they do it, in my perspective, is because now your cry for racism, that's a complicit bias on their system, because the first thing I say is, no, there's a black person that works here. She's in charge, that type of shit. Or there's a Latino, that bullshit. But when you start breaking down the history of racism, white Hispanics like Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, those are white Hispanics. They identify as white. They don't identify as no Latino. Walk up to Charlie Sheen and be like, man, you a Mexican? He's gonna be like, man, you better stop calling me that. For real. But we don't like to delve into that shit, man, because a lot of the times I think we'll group them off. Oh, well, they can't be racist. They Mexican. Shit. Shout out to my Latino brothers and sisters, but I wish I could have took pictures of my wall growing up where I grew up. That's why I missed going to Shenandoah Elementary. That's the only school I miss, because everybody that was at that school, oh, I remember that school. My sister, no. Oh, I remember like a motherfucker. Everybody at that school looked like me. You see some Jewish white kids at that school, and you see barely any Asians, and I never even saw any Latinos. This is LA. This is West LA. So I don't know what to tell you. So I wasn't used to that. I was used to everybody looking like me. The ice cream man looked like you. The person at the liquor store looked like you. Everybody looked like you as a kid growing up. That was one of my happiest years. But one of my down years when we moved to I don't even want to give it. I even hate saying the name. I hate that place. Nigga write nigga on your wall every day. It ain't nothing but Latinos everywhere. But motherfucker want to say they ain't racist? Stop. Now, in between that journey, I met a lot of Latino brothers and sisters that was cool and they wasn't on that shit. And they showed me love. But that was few and far between. The majority of them, see, they'll listen to our music. They'll replicate our style of hip hop and everything, but they'll make fun of us and they'll go with their own. And that's all I saw growing up. That's why when I get around my people, I'm so happy and so anxious to be around them. A lot of times I'm probably overbearing to a lot of brothers and sisters. They be like, damn, what's wrong with them? But I'm like that, man, because I'm like, what the fuck, man? This shit is fucked up out here. We all we got. Oh, you got a business? I got fucking with my homegirl, Crystal. I was telling her, man, she trying to start a business, man, trying to be an entrepreneur. I'm like, let me know when you do that shit, man. I'll put that shit. Because fuck that, man. We all we got. These niggas don't fuck with you. And I'm tired of everybody thinking that these people fuck with you. Even in the education system, they dominate 9 areas. The white society dominates 9 areas of people activity. Labor, law, politics, sex, war, religion, education, religion. I forgot the other one. I be blanking. Oh, I think entertainment, I be forgetting. It's like 9 of them motherfuckers, though. I know they dominate education for a motherfucker. Oh, and economics. For sure they dominate that. And they dominate education. That's why I'm talking about this shit today. Man, Erica, this shit tripped me out. Wait till I play you this audio of this motherfucking Sambo, this man me talking about. Just wait. I'm about to play this shit right now, man. And it's talking about this principal who used the word nigga. And they always, just like the dude the Papa Johns do. Oh, I wasn't using it in that context. Why are you using it at all? Why are you using it at all? You use it because you've been one. You've been saying it the whole time. And what happened is this white lady, somebody whistle blew. Somebody did a Dr. Francis Cress Wellesley. They told us what was being said when we weren't in the room. That's what we need. If you're not telling us what's said when we're not in the room, then what the fuck are you doing around me? Because you're not replacing the system of racism, you're not replacing the system of racism and white supremacy, and you're not trying to establish a system of justice. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of dominant society people, they'll come around black folk, laugh and joke with them, and then they'll be a double agent. And then they'll go back to the dominant white society, their peers, and say certain things and then get certain information. They'll leave out shit and make you feel like they're telling you what's going on. Fuck them motherfuckers, man. Real motherfuckers ain't gotta be starting no march, whining, repeating, and protesting. Real dominant society motherfuckers, in my personal opinion, they like Keith Forsyth in The Burglary. This book right here. I always mention this book. You know, with your cross-dressing friend J. Edgar Hoover. An LGBTQ LMNOP XYZ. Talking about that they can't be racist. But I'll tell you this. Those people in that book, they'll tell you what was being said when you're not in the room. Because they didn't have to say shit. You know what I'm saying? They could have been like, nah, but they did. And for that, that's where we found out what COINTELPRO came from. Go read that book. It's the book of Eli, but it's a good-ass motherfucking book. And I think more motherfuckers need to be like that. And if not, just get the fuck away from me. And I'm tired of motherfuckers coming around me with that R&B white singer Pink mentality. You just want to come around motherfuckers because you ain't getting no attention from your people. And once you get the attention, you don't fuck with niggas no more. So I don't like that shit. And don't come around me with that bullshit. And I can't stand a Sambo mammy telling about the gun line. Haywood Shepard, Steven from Django motherfucker at the job too, man. Them motherfuckers really be killing me. That's heartbreaking to watch. That make a nigga, it literally make a nigga want to be like, just give me some Hennessy and some E40 wine. Just pour it all in one bottle. Just let me drink it all. Because this shit is depressing. God damn. It's like they have broken us so much where a motherfucker can't wait to Sambo at the job, man. It should be fucking me up sometimes, man. But here, I'm about to play this audio.
Listen, Keith. Well, that person in question is Laura Robley, principal of Brennan Rogers Magnet School. She's accused of using the N-word. Now, listen, Keith. Well, that person in question is Laura Robley, principal of Brennan Rogers Magnet School. She's accused of using the N-word. Now, faced with how to handle this situation, the Board of Education voted last night 4-3 in favor of transferring Robley to another school and demoting her to assistant.
Look, they didn't vote to fire her and remove her from the school district because that's anti-black racism, and that's a part of being in that system of racism, white supremacy, which means they just voted to move her. You can't transfer racism. It's either in you and you're trying to purge it from your system and you're trying to do things like Robin DiAngelo talks about, white fragility, and you're trying to call yourself out on it and call others out on it. If you're not doing that, you can't transfer racism. So that means moving her to another school. Oh, well, she'll be less racist. No, stop. She's going to still be, she's been that way. These are the people that's teaching us. These are the people that's teaching black folk. That's why I would suggest most black folk, they should homeschool their kids or find a homeschool program where it's accredited and just do that. Preferably with black folk, that's going to teach them what the fuck it really is, man, because you sending your kids with these people. These teachers don't give a fuck about dealing with black kids as it is, and they saying nigga every chance they get. I remember in California, this lady was having a Zoom meeting with a parent, and then she thought the Zoom meeting was over, so she started talking all this shit about the black parent. Basically black folk are always late and they ghetto. But these are the people that y'all got teaching us, though, and this is what tripped me out, because don't have me play the clips of Meth Storm with Lit Daniel and them from Arkansas. That whole community was on meth. The whole motherfucking community in Arkansas. But they not going to show black folk that because black folk, from some sort of reason, especially West Coast, we think that most white folk, they just live in these aristocratic areas and they're all a part of the aristocracies of the United States of America. And a lot of these motherfuckers live in trailer parks. They broke. And these motherfuckers is dope fiends. And they don't want motherfuckers to know that. They keep those motherfuckers hidden. But of course, let's just transfer her. Because you know what? She just made it. She just said nigger. So it doesn't, it isn't like she slapped them or anything. She didn't slap any of the kids.
The vote took place via Zoom and at times became pretty heated. According to board members, the racial slur was used in a private conversation in reference to a diversity and anti-racism workshop attended by Robley and other staff members. A call for an investigation was...
Hold on. Here, let me read this. It's very important. Good looking out, Erica. Some of those teachers have something called tenure in their contracts, which means they really can't even be fired. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate. You right, but bullshit. Only reason why I say that is let my black ass have tenure and be like, fuck all these white Jewish motherfuckers, and I start calling them all kinds of racial epithets and shit, and fuck them Jews and fuck all that. Let's see how long that tenure lasts then. And I don't give a fuck if I'm working at Harvard. My black ass would be the fuck up out of there. They would tell me, hush the fuck up, pack your shit, and get the fuck out of here. But I got tenure. Fuck you and your tenure. You're a nigger. That's what you got. You got nigger. You don't got tenure. You got nigger. So take your nigger ass and get the fuck up out of here. And that's exactly what they'll say. And they'll put another nigga in there, and that nigga be like, yeah, that's unacceptable. No, I wouldn't be doing that. These are good white folk. That bullshit. So you're right. You do what's called tenure. But I remember when I was going to Citrus Community College, in Glendora, I remember my English 101 teacher was telling me about that tenure. And she was like, they racist with that shit too. And I didn't get it. I was so young then. And she was just basically breaking it down. She was like, because I was like, why you don't work full time? She was like, I got to work at like 3 different schools because I'm going to school to get my master's. And she was just like, this job doesn't want to pay me full time. I'm like, but you're a good teacher. She was just like, but it ain't about you being a good teacher, Warren. You'll understand this when you older, because I was young. She was like, you understand this when you older? And I was like, what you mean? She was just like, the way we look. And she looked around to make sure didn't nobody hear her. And she was like, and she pointed to her skin. And she was like, the way we look will dictate what type of position you get. And she was just like, it's hard to get on full time. And I'm like, even at this college? This ain't even on university. She was like, it's hard to get on at any college when you're a black professor. They don't want to hire you. And she ain't lying because she was my only black teacher Every other teacher, math, everything was all fucking white. All of them. All of them was white. And I remember my psychology teacher said, don't get me to talk. This motherfucker, we in psychology, and this motherfucker talking about we're going to go on a field trip. And I'm thinking like, okay, where the fuck is we going? You know what I'm saying? We going to go look at homeless people, look at their mental mind state. This nigga want to take us to the Museum of Tolerance about Jewish people. And I didn't pick up on it then. I just said it was a kid, so I was just like, what the fuck are we doing here? And then they had some old white Jewish lady come here and talk to us about the Holocaust. And I remember it was like 2 other black people in there, and they wasn't really listening to that shit either. And I was in the back cracking jokes, the whole time. Like, why the fuck are we here? The Museum of Tolerance. And then they had this white Jewish lady come in there and tell us about, the Jews and talk about Anne Frank and all this other shit, just like they make you watch Anne Frank in middle school. Like, that applies to us. They don't, and then anything that apply to black people, they make you watch To Kill a Mockingbird. With them, feel squash for that bullshit. Or they make you read Huckleberry Finn, some bullshit, racist shit that's basically just degrading black folk the whole goddamn time. But it ain't never nothing that cast us in a good light, and it never in a way that casts us of, framing that picture like, oh, black people are owed something. They made it seem like Jewish people was owed something. And then when I got older, I was like, I never really did think about it, but I'm like, why the fuck did we go there? I'll never forget that shit. Psychology 101, we go there because I was trying to be a behavioral science major. That was a bunch of bullshit. And that was just avoid trying to work type shit. Nigga wasn't trying to go to no school. And nigga, I go there, and then when we went on the field trip, we all had to get on. They like ordered this bus. We got there, and that shit was all day. It was like in LA somewhere. And we went to this Museum of Tolerance. It's probably still there. And it was like it was basically about Jewish people. Because I remember at the end, they had this old white Jewish lady come in there. First, they made us watch this video. Then they had this old white Jewish lady come in there. That bitch was like 90 years old, talking about, she was in the Holocaust, and thank God she made it over here. And I'm just thinking the whole time. And the whole time, I'm just thinking like, well, damn, man. Like, if your story is bad, what about slavery? It just, my dumb ass should have said that shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you right about that tenure, but them motherfuckers don't give a fuck about that shit. Shit, if you a nigga, that's all you got.
Made, which led to last night's vote. Superintendent Dr. Eileen Tracy says Robley deserves a second chance instead of severe punitive action.
I don't think it is the best interest of any of us, be it board member or public, to destroy a person's life over a slip of the tongue or something they said in private to someone else, even though it came out in public. No.
That's a mammy. And you can tell by the accent that is not a foundational black American. And no diss to my Islanders, my Jamaicans, my Haitians. No diss. I love all my non-FBA folk. But y'all have to understand, y'all here. I can't go to Haiti and go against what the Haitians want. I won't be there. So it's like, why do y'all come here? Y'all know we built this country, and then y'all are so quick. And I know why, because y'all gonna get Hansel and Gretel crumbs from the dominant white society. That's why that lady spoke up for that other white lady, because she don't give a fuck about no niggas. She care about her children and building her legacy, so motherfuckers can be like, oh, I came to this country with nothing and I built something. Yeah, you're a freeloader. Because if you can't trace back your bloodline to a descendant of a slave, you're not no descendant of a slave, you didn't build this country, you're a fucking freeloader. And that's why a lot of people come over here, they get on welfare. Look, first of all, let me just ask people this. How is it black people make up 12% of the population, but they always want to tell the whole goddamn United States of America that black folk is on welfare? Like we beating everybody on welfare. Go to a welfare office and you're going to see how many black people on there compared to every other racial group. And don't get me to start calling out names, because I done been to the welfare office a whole bunch of times. And let me tell you, you hardly see niggas there, but you see every other motherfucking racial group.
But not everyone agrees with Superintendent Tracy. One board member says a reassignment is not enough, but there has not been an apology as well, which is what that board member was expecting.
Listen to what she said, though. Hold on. Let's listen to what she said, though.
To destroy a person, I don't think it is.
Hold on. Let's see.
Dr. Eileen Tracy says Robley deserves a second chance.
Dr. Eileen
instead of
Tracy.
Severe punitive action.
I don't think it is the best interest of any of us.
What you mean of any of us? She said nigga. Why would you? Why? Because you don't consider yourself one. You consider yourself excuse me, someone from the Barbados or someone from St. Lucia or someone, I get it. So when you come here, that's why other racial groups, they be like, oh, I'm not black, I'm Nigerian. Oh, I'm not black, I'm from Cameroon. Oh, I'm not black, I'm such and such. But then when a motherfucking white police officer go ooze upside their head with a billy club and shit, then they like, oh, Black Lives Matter. That bullshit.
Be it board member.
Remember Botham John, his family was up there trying to smile with that white woman. Man, let me tell you something. Smile with that bitch. Man, get the fuck out of here. I'd have been like, no, I hope you get the gas chamber. That's what I'd have told her. And I'm not smiling with you. You knew what you was doing. You don't walk in somebody's apartment and bang. Oh, I'm in the wrong apartment. Get the fuck out of here.
For a public to destroy a person's life over.
That won't destroy her life. She's white. This system is designed for her. She can go get a job somewhere else. She just don't need to be a teacher. Maybe she should go be a banker like all the other motherfucking white racist motherfuckers.
A slip of the tongue or something they said.
That's not a slip of the tongue. She been saying that. When somebody comes out and says that out loud, they've been saying it in private for a long time. They just don't want to admit that they've been saying it in private. And then hopefully they'll, most black folk are be the gatekeeper and let it, make it where it'll go away. Because a lot of black folk, just like I don't see a lot of black folk going in on Michael Rappaport. After that interview when he was on Van Lathan's show, motherfucking black people should have been checking his ass, especially after what he did to Kevin Durant. They should have been like, hey, my nigga, like, we don't fuck with that. First of all, why would you say it was a great time and I enjoyed making higher learning? Yeah, because you got a chance to play who you really are, a white supremacist. But he had that white Jewish star, he wanted to let everybody know he's dog whistling, letting everybody know he's Jewish and shit. That type of shit.
In private to someone else, even though it came out in public.
But not everyone agrees with Superintendent Tracy. One board member says a reassignment is not enough, but there has not been an apology as well, which is what that board.
And that's in Connecticut. And just to let y'all know, y'all should already know how Connecticut get down. It's Boston. It's the most racist motherfuckers. Please, all the motherfuckers is racist. Don't let these motherfuckers tell you they not racist. That's a fact. Political scabs. That's a damn lie. The statistics shows in 2021, the stereotypical welfare queen is a middle-aged white woman. Damn, why I keep deleting this shit? That's YouTube. Post that shit again. I know that's YouTube deleting that shit, my nigga. Damn, how long ago was that and you still standing on those credentials? That's pathetic. What? I'll tell you this. That's facts what you just put in the chat. That's why I be saying, go to the welfare office. You see a lot of Latinos there. You see a lot of white people. That's a fact. But I can tell you this, man. How is it we 12% of the population, but we make up 90% of the fucking prison, the prison population? Whoa. Oh. The 94 crime bill, that explains a whole lot of it. We'll put crack in their neighborhoods. They'll get addicted to it. Then we can crack down on them, no pun intended, for mandatory minimums. Because we got to make money somehow. And then we'll just privatize the prisons. And then there'll be another prison to pipeline. And then these black niggers will grow up without dads. And then they'll be destined for failure. So basically, we're just setting black people up for failure after they built the country. Get the fuck out of here, man. Shit is a joke, my nigga. For real. That's why I be laughing. That's why I be looking at it's hard for me to watch the NBA a lot of times. I just be looking like, a lot of the black analysts, they don't want to say shit because they don't want to lose their job. I get that. They don't want to say anything. They don't want to go against the grain. I get that. But goddamn, somebody should have said something about not Luka Doncic, but the other nigga from Denver getting the MVP. It's like, nigga, what? That's like in the 90s. That's like who was a decent center in the 90s when Jordan was playing? God, I can't even think of a decent white center. George Mirasan, somebody. That's like one of them motherfuckers getting the MVP over Jordan, over Magic, over Bird, over niggas, over Clyde Drexler, over Olajuwon, over niggas that got game. It's like, come on, bro. Like, I don't get that shit, man. That's why I said a lot of this shit be bullshit. I'm telling you. That's why I be laughing, man. The reason why I be laughing because I just be like, bro. Just like when you watch The Quiet Place. They had Jaimin Hanson in that movie 5 minutes, he got killed. 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. And then the kid that was in the show, he was a mute. He didn't even say shit. I'm tired of them doing that, man. I'd rather you don't even put black people in your movie. Why are you putting us in the movie? And then we not even say we just mute, like we don't even talk. But the white kids talk just fine. Stop. That bullshit. Man. But man, hey man, look, y'all already know what it is, man. Go get heavily invested in that stock. You know what I'm saying? Go read. Go on YouTube, read, and cross-reference with the YouTube shit. Get your money game popping. Didn't watch it. Oh yeah, you ain't. Quiet Place was horrible. I'd rather watch The Conjuring. And you know, and that's another thing too. When it comes to white folk and spirits, they don't never want to talk about that shit. Ever. And this was in the Catholic Church. Y'all don't never notice shit like that, Erica? You don't never notice that shit? When they talk about Catholicism, it's always good because it's associated with white, so it's always good. They never tell you about the exorcisms, you know, or any of that. Thank God for The Conjuring because they kind of put that out there about what they was really doing. They got everybody in the United States of America thinking that the only religion have spirits and demons and all that is voodoo. That's why when you watch Child's Play, you know, that scared this new age and the new generation to death. It didn't scare me. It was intriguing to me. Like, damn, a dog can talk and kill people? That's crazy. Because, you know, I was a kid, you know, but they don't never associate voodoo with anything good, even though it's a religion. But they associate Catholicism with something good. Just something to think about. I love spirituality-based horror movies because they know it's true. And they were so afraid of Africans using it against them. Exactly. That's why they don't, you know, that's when you start bringing up voodoo. Like I said in that book, go read the book, Behold the Pale Horse. In the book, or you have the real Noriega. Well, Noriega had a side bitch, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the side bitch, he ended up getting this bitch pregnant. Well, the wife knew about it. The wife put, she practiced Santeria. So she put a spell on the side bitch. And the only reason why this was documented by the DEA, he had a DEA agent that was assigned to him, basically watching his every move and shit so he wouldn't flip on the government. Well, his side bitch went Looney Tunes and Noriega had to go all the way to Brazil and get a voodoo priestess to undo that spell because Santeria is voodoo. It's candomblé. It's the same shit. It's all the same shit. It's all African principles. It's all based off African religions. That's it. Worshiping the saints, the ancestors. That's what it is. They just got everybody thinking it's boo-boo is some bad shit. Fuck out of here. It's a great documentary. I don't think it's on Amazon anymore, but John Hansel did a great documentary on voodoo. It was dope. And I think he practices this shit too. It was dope too. He was breaking the shit down. You know how they do their ceremonies and shit. And I'm like, damn, that shit look dope. But I'm telling you, man, don't let these people have you thinking all you supposed to do is be praising Cesare. That nigga is Pau Gasol. That nigga's on the basketball. That nigga's brother playing the NBA. Mark Gasol. That's who the fuck y'all niggas is praying to. And then when you tell a nigga get mad, start arguing with you and shit. Ah, man, it's on the internet, man. I'm like, all right, nigga. Okay. But anyway, man, hey, man, I appreciate everybody. Appreciate you listening, subscribing. You already know what it is, man. I'm your boy, gracious host. You know what the fuck it is, man. Get on your stock, get on your game, stay in your own lane. You know what I'm saying? You can learn something from the white Jewish community. I do. Just like the Nation of Islam, just like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, just like he says, just like Brother Tony Muhammad, he says about the white Jewish community. You can learn from them. That's facts. How they spend their money, what they budget on, how they keep everything in-house, and how they teach their kids, you know, hey, this is what you gonna do. They expose their kids to money. They teach their kids to use money as a tool and not be so emotional about it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we don't have the same plight as the white Jewish community, but you know what? You can learn a lot from what the fuck they do, especially when it comes to that bread, because they gonna always invest in themselves and in their family. They not finna be out there buying Range Rovers and shit, and they in an apartment. That's just not what they gonna do. No diss to nobody that do that shit, but I ain't never met no white Jewish person that do shit like that. I'll tell you, them motherfuckers gonna shop at the Salvation Army and be in a fat ass crib. That's what they do. And they don't give a fuck about no card. No, they don't care about that shit. That shit is meaningless to them. They care about their kids. They hustle for their last name, not for their first. You gotta hustle, because what do you want people to say about you? That's facts. Because I see, this is what I know is about a lot of black folk too. We don't mind, going hard on a kid to learn Cesare, but when it comes to financial literacy, we won't teach a motherfucker shit. And we'll sit up there and be like, yeah, go do this, do this. But we don't even want to show them. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm putting my bread into. Hey, man, it's about being an entrepreneur. Find something that you know motherfuckers fuck with and go fuck with it. And area, man, send me your address. If you get another address, man, I got you. I'll send you some more CMOS. Don't trip. I got some purple CMOS too. I'm talking some shit like that right now. But anyway, I appreciate everybody listening. You already know what it is. I don't want this channel to grow unless it's organically. I don't want motherfuckers on my page motherfucking trolling and shit, because I think that shit is lame. And I ain't on here trying to cloud chase, because fuck a motherfucking cloud chasing. This is therapy to me. Yes, I'm still reading that book, Price for a Pound of Flesh. It is not really an easy read like motherfuckers think. And I'm not talking about literally. I'm talking about, man, it's fucking difficult. But hey, man, be on your game. When you're at that corporate plantation, think of new and inventive ways of where you can replace that salary eventually. I do. But hey, man, I appreciate everybody listening. Subscribe. You know what it is. Hey, if you're around a motherfucker and they talking about they don't see color, that's, once they say that, guilty, nigga. That's all I got to say, man. I'm out. Peace.